We're here today with Tony Workman, owner and operator of the Classic Plastics Toy Store located in downtown Parkersburg, West Virginia, and progenitor of the Classic Plastics Toy and Comic Expo, which is quickly approaching on March 4th and 5th at the Parkersburg Art Center. Tony, how you doing?
Pretty good.
You ready for take two?
Definitely.
So I may or may not have screwed up the last recording, and I really won't know until I get it into the computer to find out. So we're going to do it again, and I'm going to make Tony suffer through it because he's awesome like that. Tony, what got you started in selling toys?
Pretty much my love of them. Ever since I was little, I had a lot. I've always had toys, and I never really grew out of it, so I wanted to keep that going and turn a hobby into a business.
You started off by having a shop in the local flea market. What drove you to make the jump to having a retail space?
It came down to availability, with the flea market being 3 days and me pretty much just growing out of the space that I was in. I kept getting a bigger and bigger space, and I just figured it was time to get a building.
Gotcha. What kind of toys and other items do you carry here?
There's a little bit of everything. We started at the flea market with vintage used toys that people would bring into us, and then when I moved here, I started getting into newer toys from NECA and Funko and stuff like that. So a little bit of everything.
So do you have any kind of primo stuff for the fine dining toy collector?
Yeah, every now and then we'll get stuff from collectors that'll bring in like a packaged Ninja Turtles from the 80s, or stuff from NECA that's really highly detailed, articulated stuff that might be pricier but is worth the money.
And I noticed that you have vintage functional arcade machines. What inspired the decision to include those in your space?
I always loved going to an arcade when I was a kid. There was a movie theater that I would go to that my parents would take my brothers and I to, and before every movie we would sit there and play arcades until it was time to go and watch it. And I've watched them shut down all over the place, and I just wanted to try and bring that back.
Gotcha. Do you host any special extended hour events like arcade or collectible card game tournaments or anything like that?
We do with the arcades. We have a free arcade day once a month that we try to do towards the end of the month every time. That is what it sounds like, and it's just come in and play free arcades all day.
Awesome. So, as I said, you're the progenitor of the Classic Plastics Toy and Comic Expo, coming up again March 4th and 5th. This will be the 4th year that you've hosted it, and the 3rd year that it'll be taking place at the Parkersburg Art Center. So, what sparked the truly daunting task of organizing an expo?
My buddy Todd Wines works for the Red Cross, and they were looking for a fundraiser that would help bring in different age groups and different types of people that they don't normally get any kind of support from. And so he came to me and was like, "Do you want to do a toy and comic expo?" With him being a huge comic nerd, and of course I said yes.
So is it just you pulling the strings, or do you have a crew to help get all the gears moving?
For the most part, it's me. Todd does help out when he can, but with his job being a disaster relief person, it's just a matter of if there's going to be a flood or something. So if that happens, he really has to focus on that, which leaves me to be really the only one. But I do have employees that I can pay to help me out as well.
So this year you're featuring nearly 100 vendors and guests. How well has the attendance grown over the past 4 years?
It's funny. The first year was in a church on the South Side, and I think we had broken 300 people. And last year, our 3rd year, we had 1,200 people, and we're hoping and expecting to get over 2,000 this year, with it being the first 2-day show. But it's just a kind of wait and see.
And as you said, this is the first 2-day, multi-day event. Why was the decision made to extend the expo?
Last year there were so many people. The art center is a really big, pretty decent sized building, but there were so many people on one floor that it was hard to get through the aisles and to really see all the inventory and to enjoy the show as much as people wanted to. So we thought that spreading it out between the 2 days would give people the opportunity to choose when and what day they wanted to come. Awesome.
So, who can we expect to see this year then?
This year we have Steve Cardenas is Cardenas. I don't know how he pronounces it. Is the second Red Ranger from Power Rangers. He's Rocky the Red Ranger, if anybody watches the show. Along with Tim Clark is an 80s toy designer. He did stuff like Boglins and Sectars. He worked a little bit on Fraggle Rock. And then we're having the local legend Jordan Patton back this year from Sci-Fi's Face Off. He does the show Dead Necks.
We have the expo, and then we also have some external events that are happening as well. So what are some of the events that are happening at the expo and outside of it that will really make for the first weekend of March to be a truly grand adventure for anybody who comes down to downtown Parkersburg?
I'll start with the outside stuff first. Is being done by Downtown PKB again. They did an event last year that they got really good reception from Savor Saturday that they're going to be doing again this time. It's going to include 12 different restaurants that you can walk around in downtown and get dollar samples from. So if you haven't eaten at any of the downtown restaurants, it gives you a really good chance to try out some of what's on their menu. And then there's going to be a guy, I don't even know his name, he just came into the store one time and was like, hey, if you let me into the show for free on one day, I'll go around to all the Pokemon stops in downtown, which for Pokemon Go, and put lures on them. So that's going to be at noon or at the same time that people will be walking around for Savor Saturday. So you can play Pokemon, take advantage of a whole bunch of the lures down here, and then be able to sample a bunch of the restaurants. And then inside, we're going to have the Vienna Libraries doing events like Lego building and story time on Sunday. J&M Bookstore on Southside's doing board games and tabletop events both Saturday and Sunday, along with Rare Drops from Huntington is doing video game tournaments. Both of those will be in the basement of the Art Center. And then a cosplay contest. And I'm probably forgetting something else, but I can't remember right now. There'll probably be something else that I can't remember.
It's hard to keep track of all of it, isn't it?
It is.
So finally, do you have anything else that I may have forgotten to ask, or anything that you want to add on there?
I can't remember if it was mentioned or not, but the proceeds to the show do go towards downtown PKB, and the Art Center will be split in half. I do not get a profit from this. This is something that is done for the community and for promotion for my store. It was in the past, it was done for Red Cross with Todd working for them, but we changed the Red Cross to downtown PKB this year. So if you guys are really wanting to help support your local area and your local businesses, coming to the expo is going to be really important.
Awesome. So you can join us in the fun at the Classic Plastics Toy and Comic Expo March 4th and 5th at the Parkersburg Art Center, located at 725 Market Street in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Admission is $5 per person each day, or $8 for a 2-day pass. Children 10 and under are free with a paid adult admission. And again, all proceeds go to the Parkersburg Art Center and downtown PKB. More information about the expo can be found at classicplasticstoystore.com/classicplastics Toy Show, and that's with dashes in between. Link will be in the notes, or you can search Classic Plastics Toy and Comic Expo on Facebook for real-time updates on the event. Don't forget to come down to the storefront as well, Classic Plastics Toy Store, located at 406 Market Street in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and give Tony all the love and support you can. Thanks again, Tony, for having me down and wasting time with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.